been listening to our pre-match coverage of the FIFA World Cup 2026 on iHeartRadio. Fox's play-by-play coverage of today's match is coming up next.
The free iHeartRadio app is #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Discover a new podcast from our library of over 350,000 titles. Here's an iHeartRadio podcast preview.
Peter Bogdanovich is a man of many passions.
Peter Bogdanovich burst upon the film.
Bogdanovich is best known as a director of films like The Last.
Peter Bogdanovich helped change the way movies were made, starting with his first hit in 1971. The Last Picture Show.
Thought you might want to go to the picture show.
Yeah, might as well go.
At age 31, he became one of the hottest directors in Hollywood.
All his life, he's wanted to make movies, and he did.
His self-confidence. He knew what he wanted to do.
Now, this movie fan is a successful director.
Peter's career was kind of the ultimate triumph of the film critic, film nerd, film buff.
And he liked being in love.
Peter and I, we were the first unmarried couple on the cover of People magazine. Oh, horrors.
You have her, you have 4 pictures in a row that make
People hated them.
A guy has to learn to hate you.
But Peter's success did not last.
I made a lot of mistakes, but we're starting again now.
And just as he was on his way back up,
She fell in love with another man.
The happiest girl in the world.
Hey, Dorothy Stratton.
he suffered an unspeakable tragedy.
Playboy magazine's 1980 Playmate of the Year has been found shot to death.
And finally, the phone rings. I answered it. It was Hefner. He said 2 words. Dorothy's dead.
I'm Ben Mankiewicz, your host for The Plot Thickens, a new podcast from Turner Classic Movies. Each season, we'll bring you an in-depth story about the movies and the people who make them. Our first season, I'm still Peter Bogdanovich.
Listen and follow this podcast for free on the iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one.
World Cup coverage continues as we join Fox's live play-by-play action of today's FIFA World Cup 2026 match. Follow all the exclusive World Cup action on iHeartRadio.
Here in Houston, Derek Ray, joined by Rob Green. Hi, Rob.
Hello, Derek. Hello, everyone.
Tactically, Canada's directness against Morocco's poise and possession. Fascinating confrontation to kick off the round of 16.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're looking at Canada, they're going to have to be direct and they're going to have to play a perfect game, you feel, tonight. They have not played opposition like this so far. And within that, you're looking to say, how can we go about this? They like to be aggressive off the ball. They like to be aggressive on the ball. If they get that right, they can prove a challenge. Off key by 1 minute, 1 second, Morocco will expose them.
Every new phase at the greatest sporting show on earth brings with it a heightened sense of tension and, dare I say, anxiety. If you're from one of the participating countries, Jesse Marsh at mission control here in Houston for Canada. And his opposite number, Mohamed Ouahbi, actually Belgian-born, but of Moroccan heritage, and proving to be the right fit for this group of players. Under the roof, with climate control in place, on the 4th of July, the round of 16 commences. The co-hosts in 2026 against the co-hosts in 2030. Canada versus Morocco here in Space City. A little bit of a false start. Well, the nerves are jangling. Now we're underway. Well, the winners to fill the initial space in the quarterfinals in Boston on Thursday. And 2 very different styles and approaches to the game. I think that is all part of the intrigue here, Rob.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're looking at Canada with their 4-4-2, which turns very much in a 4-2-2-2. And they'll look to go direct, they'll look to go fast, hit their front two as early as possible, because that's where Morocco have been at their weakness. If you get at their defence, the centre-backs, there's a new pairing again in for today. If you get at those quickly, they have conceded goals. For Morocco, it'll be interesting to see Hakimi on the right, star player, along with Brahim Diaz. He's on their right-hand side of their 4-2-3-1 at the minute. High on your top of your screen, the two of them you can see together. That relationship that they have as they control the ball, control the game, how they go about unpicking Canada's press is going to be key.
He's a job in his customary position. Scored that very late equaliser in Monterrey against the Netherlands on Monday. Such drama in that match. So it went to a penalty shootout before Morocco emerged victorious, knocking out the Dutch. Canada, who did enough against South Africa in their last game. Goal right at the death from Stefan Eustachio. Moise Bombito, defensive anchor. We wondered coming into the tournament if he was going to make it. That's the result of a left tibia injury that he suffered with his French club Nice back in October. It was a close run thing. They certainly need him. They would want to have Alphonso Davies playing from the start, but that hasn't been possible. Did come on for 15 minutes against South Africa, however.
Yeah, and you look at the two of them at the centre-backs. They like to be aggressive. Mbito and Defugeral like to go up high against the centre forward. You can see number 11 there. Bombito's up against him as the centre back. When they get it slightly wrong, Canada, that's when they get themselves in trouble. Want to be front-footed, want to be aggressive, which is fine. You've just got to get it right. And the higher you go, the tougher the opposition is, harder it gets.
Haven't had a chance to talk about the officials. Michael Oliver from England is the man in the middle. Tejon Buchanan getting himself involved that time for Canada in the dark shirts and dark shorts. Morocco in white, and Hal, as we mentioned, give her the nod in the middle of that defence. Did start the victory over Haiti. That was at the end of the group stage. Morocco at the wobbliest in that game, but they did ring the changes.
Yeah, and you're looking at that centre-back pairing for Morocco, and that in itself is key. Is you're looking at two players who aren't superstars in this team, but steady players. They need to be steady again, because there's going to be rushes. There's going to be chaos from Canada.
Chilarea got the break of the ball for Canada, dragging it towards the byline, and all the Canadian players pointing towards the corner flag, and it has been given. Corner here to Canada in the early going in Houston.
Yeah, no surprise. Actually, left back getting to the byline. That's what they want to do. They want to flood the box, cause chaos. They've been positive, they've been front-footed so far. Only 4 minutes in, but the game has been played in Morocco's half. Michael Oliver having a chat here on the centre spot. My eyes drawn towards the back post. There's two players there waiting. You just see them, number 12 and 17. They're going to make a run across the 6-yard box.
Eustachio, and confident enough punch by Yassine Bono, actually born in Montreal in Canada. Both goalkeepers here from Quebec, and it opens up, and it was Jonathan David inside the area. Well, the traffic flow right now very much towards Bono.
Yeah, completely lost the shape. You see that great big gap in the centre circle, in the D, where the Moroccans have vacated, looking to press. There's a clever little header down from Defugeral. Jonathan David just running out of road.
Well, set pieces have been important for Canada. You think about the chances they've created on the back of them throughout this tournament. David is waiting inside the 6-yard area. Was Eustachio. Cover back there for Canada. Sigur, who fed it forward in the general direction of Buchanan, and some defending for Al-Hal to do.
Really positive from Canada, just going forwards, and there, even then, just getting the ball and hooking it over your shoulder, get it over the defence, ask a question of them to say, get yourself running towards your own goal.
Eustachio with LAFC on loan from Porto. Did actually play a couple of times for the Portugal under-21s. Such an important player, this man, for Jesse Marsh, for Canada. And again, it was de Fougerolles with a header, and Bono got his glove on that one. Eustachio, clever pass. De Fougerolles, and driven away by Ismail Saibari to safety for now, but a good little passage from Canada.
A really good pressure, front-footed nature that we know of Canada.
And it's a very interesting style that Jesse Marsh favours. It's the pressing approach. It's the Ralf Rangnick school. Jesse Marsh, who used to work with Ralf Rangnick in Leipzig, in Germany. And a pause here.
Unai took a massive blow in the air. Absolute sandwich between the two. It was an NFL-style block. Bono's been under pressure at the start of this game, as has the Moroccan defence, and Jesse Marsh will have said to them, look, there is nothing to fear here. You've got to go out and be positive, be true to yourselves, be true to the success that you've got so far as an outfit. And you're 7 minutes in, 8 minutes in, they've been on the front foot.
It's a very encouraging start made by Canada. We're here at this magnificent stadium in Houston, Texas. Capacity more than 70,000. With its retractable roof. And mercifully, we're watching this game in the air conditioning.
It would have been a whole different proposition if that roof was open.
Hussein Mazraoui, who's highly flexible, ends up playing a left back for Morocco because Ashraf Hakimi on the ball now. Of course, is the right back of choice. Two very significant contributors just in front of the defence. Ayoub Bouadi is only 18, recently switched from France, was the captain of the France under-21s, and Neil El Ainaoui. Alistair Johnston, always a vigorous performer for Canada. Plays in Scotland for the double winners Celtic. That was an injury-riddled campaign as far as Johnston was concerned. And pursuing that one was the man playing next to Jonathan David, Tani Olawashi.
Yeah, unapologetically direct. Two balls, one from the goalkeeper up to the halfway line, win the second ball, and then just go again. Olawashi a handful. He's going to be a really tricky customer for Diop and Al-Hal at the back. And you know what? Just go and do it. Do your thing.
Morocco will likely look for overloads when they can. And the technical skills to come to the fore for Canada. It's often very much a focus on the short route to goal. Just a few passes after the ball win.
You just see at the top of your screen now how direct or how narrow Canada are on the overload of Brahim Diaz and
it's given away by El Ainaoui, and possibilities here for Canada. Olawashi with that attempt, and then acrobatics would have been spectacular had it come off for him and for the Canadians. But they try again. And Buchanan looked as though he had thrown himself to the ground. Went back in for the challenge. Well, it's full throttle football under Jesse Marsh from Canada.
Yeah, and this is the blueprint. There's a slack pass, and that you can see the overload of Hakimi at the bottom of your screen. That's the intrigue. That's what they're leaving. But from there, wonderful little turn. He's got his shot away. Probably not as clean as he would have liked, but Bono is one of the best at this, coming out and making yourself big. He knows that's a big chance. As few passes as possible, just get it in front of goal.
Bouadi, and here is Mazraoui of Manchester United. Saibari can be a real handful for opponents up against Bombito, but he ultimately solves the problem. Moise Bombito for Canada, and they try to click into an attacking gear again. It's been a very bright start to this match. Canada and Morocco. First game in the round of 16. They're trying to knit things together, Canada. David shuffling the ball off. Eustachio does know how to split open a defence, and that was his intention. Well, the FIFA president in attendance, Gianni Infantino, doesn't miss too many matches, hasn't done at this World Cup. And that again was careless by Morocco. Al trying to sweep up. He was put under pressure. Eustachio making inroads. Haven't really been able to get out very much so far, the Atlas Lions. And it's an in-your-face sort of performance early on from Canada. Alistair Johnston. Well, the idea was good. Eustachio steadying himself. David. It's away in the nick of time by Hal. Well, they're covering plenty of ground, these Canadian players. They are up for it.
Yeah, the manager applauds, and at the minute, this is Canada's game, how they want it to be played. Chaotic, panicky, end-to-end. That's the energy that they need and require. How long they can keep it up for is another question. Morocco just want this, want a little bit of stay possession, a little bit of control in the game.
Remember, it's a big day here on Fox. Kylian Mbappe and his France teammates facing Paraguay in Philadelphia. That match is next on Independence Day. Delighted you've chosen to spend part of it with us. We're here in Houston, Texas, in the Lone Star State.
And the pressure on, he's all over the pitch. Just waiting for that moment to pounce. The threat is in behind, and Morocco are choosing not to make those runs at the moment. You look at the top of the screen again, the switch is on all the time for Morocco. It's getting the ball out of their feet, getting that opportunity to get the ball out there. Canada not allowing that at the moment.
As Morocco not really able to any great extent to fly out of the blocks, but still a lot of football to be played. Diop is looking for El Alnawi. Plays for Roma in Serie A in Italy. Larea adjudged to have been the culprit. And he's going to be seeing plenty of Hakimi on that side.
Yeah, that's the combination. That's what we're talking about there. 3 passes, 1 forwards, side and back, and then again go. And Larea knowing that the gap's in behind him, knowing he's been told to be aggressive, but he's outnumbered out there.
Jump for Morocco. Canada continue to try to press high. Can be a risky style. Maxime Crépeau is the goalkeeper for Canada. As I mentioned, like Bono at the other end, he is from Quebec. Morocco, you just feel almost trying to calm it down. A string of passes, even just across the defence, steady a few nerves, build their way into the game. And that has been given as a free kick.
That's twice now. They're error on Hakimi. Michael Oliver, the referee, will be taking note. I'm saying, be positive, be aggressive. But against Hakimi, it's a long old 90 minutes. You also have to have that element of control.
See the possession numbers instructive. Morocco already have had a lot of the ball, but Canada with their pressing more effective. Al-Hal.
You see Bouhaddi now just trotting to get the ball. Wonderfully talented teenager. Controls the game from midfield. There's no surprise he's now dropped between the two centre-backs just to give that extra man.
See if they can spring. Saibari. Bombito with him. Was essentially on his own, Saibari, and the flag has gone up. Just as that was developing promisingly for Saibari and Morocco.
He was on his own because he was offside, but it was... to see the gaps that are there, the element of risk that is there in the game that Canada are playing. They're asking so much of their back line to say, hey, step forwards, but you've got to cover that as well.
De Fougerolles has come into the Canada side today. No, Derek Cornelius, not in the starting 11 anyway. Johnston. David was there just to touch it on, and fluency here. Eustachio doing his best to release Buchanan. And Al-Hal again having to clean up.
Really good covering from Al-Hal. Really, again, positive from Canada. Using the width, using the right back, using the midfielders, the bounce passes. When you get it right in that formation, it's so difficult to stop because the positions are so unconventional.
These two countries did meet at the last World Cup in Qatar, with Morocco prevailing by 2-1 in the group stage. Big improvement from Canada at this World Cup under Jesse Marsh. Eustachio is trying to swing it away. Johnston it was who made contact with it in there for Canada.
Well, it's a free header. It's 10 yards out. And you're saying, well, there's no real pace on the ball, so it would have to have been an incredible header. But because there's no real pace on the ball, you're saying, how have Morocco not got there and made a challenge? There's a little inkling, a little opening there for Canada.
18 minutes in. And 0-0 so far. And there's the ball win again, successful ball win. Eustachio. Ahmed, who's another of the players to have come into the team, has been playing for Norwich City.
Exciting player, my former team, and he's hit the ground running there, really impressed.
So possession phase here from Canada. As I mentioned earlier, it's not all about possession when it comes to the Canadian way of playing under Jesse Marsh. It's about how you make an impact when you do win the ball, preferably high up. And the card does come out here from Michael Oliver. Al-Hal, not the only player seeking answers, but this is what transpired, Rob.
Yeah, just having to get way out, and he's out where he doesn't want to be. Otherwise, been positive so far. It's been a handful. Al-Hal knows he's in for a long afternoon, and Morocco in trouble. There's someone down. We've got a real problem here. Subs are being prepared. Saibari, I think his hamstring went when he did the first run, and he just caught offside. He had a little bit of a wince. Not sure whether it was this one or the one where he was caught offside, but in there was a sprint. And early on in games, not quite fully fit. That was the grimace that I saw.
Yeah, something went twang. Well, they've relied very heavily, Morocco, on Ismail Saibari at this World Cup. Scored at each of the group stage games against Brazil, Scotland and Haiti. And the bulk of the support here in Houston is for Morocco. They are going to make a substitution. Soufiane Rahimi will get the call. This is not what Morocco need.
He's not as physical a presence, not one that can drive into the space like Saibari, but he does have timing of the runs. He likes to run into in a different way, he runs into the box more so. He's already scored in the tournament.
That's a goal and an assist in the 4-2 win over Haiti. On he comes, Soufiane Rahimi, born in Casablanca, plays in the United Arab Emirates for Al Ain. And the great one is here, supporting Canada, Wayne Gretzky. No one quite like him in ice hockey terms. Well, Canada have acquitted themselves rather well so far in this opening round of 16 match. Eustachio too close to Bono, who gets both gloves on it, and almost at the midway point of this first half. And still it's a blank score sheet here on the 4th of July.
I just feel Morocco will be happy. Not happy that they've lost their main man, the centre forward, but happy that Canada have thrown everything that they can at them, and it's still 0-0. They haven't played well, they haven't started well, but they're still level.
Mazraoui trying something different. It's cut out by De Fougerolles. And again, he's been playing in Belgium for Dender on loan from Fulham. Now 2 players down here. Buchanan switching over to the left. Sigur, who has now picked himself up for Canada, so full complement again on the pitch. Cooling break coming up shortly here in H-Town. Hal he knew what he was doing there, making sure he won the free kick. David wasn't exactly chuffed about it. So into the match break here in Houston. And Canada certainly entitled to be happy about how they have started the game. Morocco perhaps need to come up with a slightly different plan. Olawashe forcing that save from Bono. Still 0-0.
All in one. Discover a new podcast from our library of over 350,000 titles. Here's an iHeartRadio podcast preview.
My name is Lena Masitsis, and I'm a podcast producer. A year and a half ago, I began working on a podcast with George St. Geegland and Gil Faison. The whole thing fell apart about halfway through when they had a falling out and abandoned the project. Also, they never paid me for any of the work I did and said it was, quote, my fault for trusting them, just like their dumb daughters. But then, a few days ago, I received a Xerox copy of a fax asking me to read the following statement. Oh, hello. It's George and Gil, your favorite guys in the world, and also New York, which is an awesome city, but not as good as it used to be because of Mayor de Blasio and the Knicks, who stink. We are in mandatory self-quarantine right now, but we think that what the world needs is a podcast from us, George and Gil, the bad boys of broadcast. It's time we finish and air this podcast. The very fact that we have content banked means we are miles ahead of the competition. Even a half-finished podcast that almost ruined our friendship is more than you dunces have out there in Nobodyville. We're going to win the quarantine. And one last thing, you're welcome. End of statement. This is Oh Hello, the podcast.
Listen and follow this podcast for free on the iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts all in one.
And welcome back to Houston, Texas. Not exactly the start Morocco had planned here. And they've lost Saibari to boot. An up-tempo beginning by Canada. Certainly were massive underdogs coming into play. But they have found something under Jesse Marsh. Ashraf Hakimi and his teammates might have to rethink their approach, Rob. How do you see it?
Yeah, interesting. They'll be really buoyed by the start, but you feel that Morocco played as badly as they could have done, and Canada as well as they could have done, and it's still 0-0. That's the problem that Canada have, is that in a game like this, if you're playing well, you're on top, you've got to take your chances, and they just didn't take that one big chance that they had.
Bono, as I mentioned earlier, Montreal-born. Canada a while ago did inquire about his potential availability. Always wanted to play for Morocco. Left Canada as a youngster, a very accomplished goalkeeper. Haven't really seen too much from Unahi in this match so far. Azzedine Unahi likes to get forward ordinarily from his midfield position.
It's a bit of a problem that they've got is that they went forward there early. Maybe a bit of a change-up. He's getting fouled in the process here, but there's not really a physical presence up front. They've lost that size of Saibari.
Here is Diop. He's been with Fulham since 2022. Previously West Ham United, Toulouse in France. Actually born in Toulouse. Marvellous city in the south of France.
And that's ball from him. That just hopeful ball forward. They can't hit those sort of balls. They're just not that team.
Oh, it was Bombito. And that shot coming in from the substitute Rahimi. Not really testing Crépeau.
It's a waste because it's the best opportunity they've really had, and Brahim Diaz was going up on the right-hand side. A shot from there is a 1 in 100 job.
That's been the problem for Morocco. We haven't really called the name of Diaz much at all in the initial part of this round of 16 confrontation. And Crépeau underworked. Just had to maintain concentration levels here.
From that distance, under pressure. Taking the sting out the shot as well. Defougerol feeling that is poor decision.
Buchanan is going to leave this throw-in for Alistair Johnston.
Well, we know where this is going. Maybe not for the first contact, but for the second contact, the knockdown.
Vancouver-born Johnston generating plenty of distance. Michael Oliver saw something in there that wasn't exactly to his liking. They are looking for Defougerol whenever they can, these set plays.
2 hands in the back. Thank you very much, Mazraoui. I'll take a fall and get the free kick.
Morocco trying to grow into the game. USA playing Belgium in the round of 16 on Monday on Fox. And our coverage starts at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Another massive day with US involvement. Scale of the task, of course, gets that bit more difficult with each passing round.
Still at the task, the scale of the opposition, and just seeing how Canada are going about it today and being so positive and proactive. You may go out, but go out on your terms. Go out playing the way that you want to play, and you've got every chance of going through.
It's a remarkable unbeaten run that Morocco have put together. Also found it pretty remarkable that they've played that many matches in just under a year, Rob.
33 games unbeaten in 90 minutes, and I just feel that that's a normal season for any club team at times.
I was going to say, yeah. Diop. Hakimi was tight by the touchline.
I think these Diop and Halal have got to play a little bit higher, engage the centre forwards. If they do that, then the gaps create behind. Playing the ball around here is safe, and you're not really going to engage. You need to get that little bit higher, and then the spaces appear behind them into the midfield.
Chasing after it is Hakimi, who is jet heeled. The Fougerolles went over there. Mohamed Ouahabi is patrolling the technical area. This is what happened.
Yeah, he doesn't really have that powerful presence. It's like where he did in the game, and those runs aren't going to be as worrying.
Red hot atmosphere in Houston. The winners to face Paraguay or France. It'll be in Boston on Thursday. Games keep on coming here at the FIFA World Cup. Maria back to Crepo. Plays for Orlando City. Really was cruel, the injury that he suffered on the eve of the last World Cup. Broken leg. Making up for it this time around. Bombito. Next to him is De Fougerolles. He's going to have to cover an extra yard or two. Back the way by Eustachio. And again with Crepo. Canada co-hosts, but for the second round running, not on home soil. I think that's a bit of a pity. A bit of vision, it possibly could have been worked out that irrespective of where they landed, Canada would carry on Canadian soil. And we were up in Toronto just the other night for the brilliant Portugal-Croatia game. Rob, super atmosphere right across Canada.
Yeah, fantastic stadium, proper football stadium for a really great game.
Ali Ahmed. Eustachio with the chip ball in, trying to place it onto the head of Tajon Buchanan. So Johnston to take this. Mohamed Ouahabi guided Morocco to victory at the 2025 FIFA Under-20 World Championship. Tells you a lot about the trajectory the young players they have coming through. Used to be that they relied heavily on the diaspora. Players in countries like France and Belgium, Moroccan parentage, but well, they're going full pelt to develop players in Morocco as well now.
The last corner, he just floated it about 12 yards out. There wasn't a challenge from a Moroccan player, so you've just got to be a little bit tighter, a little bit more aware.
Eustachio looking for the head flick from Olawashe. Was it cleared away properly? Bouadi under pressure there from De Fougerolles. Whistle's gone though. That will come back.
Causing themselves their own problems here. Morocco, confused thinking and not clarity in movement and execution at the moment. Gave away the corner between themselves, and then there it's clumsy really getting the free kick when they were under pressure.
Look at the XG, something that we refer to more and more in football. 0.46 for Canada, 0.02 for Morocco. That's expected goals based on the action.
Yeah, they've done nothing so far, Morocco. And this is the problem of what I'm talking about. You're 35 minutes into a game against one of the bigger hitters in the tournament and playing well.
Mazraoui robbed of it by the eager Buchanan. It's a natural dribbler. Plays for Villarreal in Spain nowadays.
That's really good from Buchanan. And you're looking at slow and sloppy play again from Morocco. They've just not got this right. Mazraoui having to double back on his own actions late into the tackle. Not much of a tackle.
It was a bit of a meagre effort. And Johnston with the latest throw-in. Canada never afraid to at least try to win the aerial duels in such situations. Part of the strategy, something they're good at. Johnston again, trying to help the ball on its way. Mazraoui came away with it. Rahimi, but a misplaced pass in the general direction of Unahi. Michael Oliver has stopped play. Mazraoui on the ground here. Rob?
Yeah, just caught late. Was playing advantage, that block there. After he played the ball. They haven't really had the opportunity to break through the Canadian lines. Haven't really had the sustained passing and pressure that we were expecting. They're missing him.
No two ways about that. Saibari reduced to the role of spectator. Coming up, the Bank of America halftime show. Rob Stone, Clint Dempsey, Landon Donovan and Alexi Lalas. Live from Independence Hall up in Philadelphia. Fitting place for the chaps to be on this special day, Independence Day, 4th of July. Canada and Morocco going at it here in Texas.
There's really good intensity about the Canadian press, and it's in there. They're waiting for those short passes because they're so close together, Canada, when they press. They get that pressure on, and then they explode, and that's where Morocco are almost so tentative about it. They don't know where to go forwards. So they're okay with the possession here, but how you get forwards, these balls now, all of a sudden you can see the Canadian shirts just getting in around them.
And it's a very coordinated press when it all comes together. Well, it was El Ainaoui. El Ainaoui. And a little coming together there. Narea, Hakimi and the referee. Look at Michael Oliver. Got right in the middle, and now things threaten to kick off. One little minor confrontation can do that. And others decide that they have to have their say.
Well, it's frustration from Hakimi. Frustration in general from Morocco. And Michael Oliver, normally a very cool and calm customer as referee, saw something that was needed. Desperate intervention then.
And he's going to try to solve this by producing the yellow card. Hakimi called over. So yellow it is for Achraf Hakimi, and the other player in the tussle was Richie Larea. Eustachio trying to plead the Canadian case.
It was just a hopeful ball over the top. You can see the shove from Hakimi. There's the booking. And it's not much from Larea.
Well, let's quickly bring in Dr. Joe Macknick. Dr. Joe?
Well, earlier in the game, the same two players came together along the far side touchline twice, and the referee had warned Larea about his fouls against Hakimi, and Hakimi decided to take matters into his own hands. Hence what just happened and the two cautions.
Thank you, Dr. Joe. These referees have to make up their own mind how they manage a game, and Michael Oliver clearly felt that managing that situation called for a yellow card apiece. Has been a physical component to this. Bilal El Kanous, I must say, he has been virtually invisible so far.
Well, as have most of the attacking midfielders. Unahi, Brahim Diaz, barely been mentioned in it. Can't get a foothold in the game. They're a bit confused by how to go about this. Morocco.
They won so many friends at the last World Cup. It was a slightly different playing style under Walid Regragui. A bit more reactive. They've become ever more the possession-based team. Finished fourth at the last World Cup. And amongst the favourites of quite a few big names in football, the great Tony Kroos actually said ahead of the tournament he saw Morocco as potential winners.
They're looking to progress and looking to become a better side from what they were 4 years ago. It's one of the big shouts, but on this showing, lucky to get just through this one game.
This is proving to be quite the examination for Morocco.
They've got the problem that they can't get either of the defensive midfielders on the ball. Just trying to find those angles, get that right.
See the hunt for the ball there by the Canadians. They all understand their assignments. That was Sigur who made his way up, knew that it was his job to pile the pressure on. And again there, Eustachio had gone sliding across. And Morocco continued to look rather befuddled by it all. Maybe they can change things here. Brahim Diaz trying to get a foothold in the game at long last. And not just a free kick, but a yellow card as well.
It was a tactical foul. The right back Johnson, he's getting up high and getting tight. Just a pull of the shirt, that was enough. And Brahim Diaz, for once, drifting and getting the angle right, and also getting the touch right. That's where they've been falling so short. It's just technically been falling short, and all of a sudden, a little bit of space, an opportunity, and a yellow card.
It's David at the end of that. Johnston, as you saw earlier, was doing his best to keep Diaz in check. So Achraf Hakimi sending it in. It's been a quiet first half in an attacking sense from a Moroccan point of view. David with the lead for Canada. Nahi was over there linking the play. Called upon was de Fougerolles. First half ebbing away. That was a clear trip. Ahmed on the receiving end, and the cards coming thick and fast now. That was Azzedine Ounahi.
Yeah, it's all got very scrappy, very tetchy. All of a sudden, ever since Hakimi's coming together with Larea.
Up to 5 cautions. Gives you an indication as to the pattern in the last few minutes.
He's got some thinking to do. It's been not an impressive performance, whereas Jesse Marsh can just say go and do the same again in the second half.
6 minutes to be added on at the end of this half. Bombito having to chase over for Canada. He's under the cosh. It's Buchanan who comes away with it. That'll be a Moroccan throw. All happened right in front of Mohamed Ouabi. It's been a pretty busy first half for Michael Oliver.
Just letting this one fly, and there was a touch, there was a contact. You can see how tight it is, how many black shirts are around the ball, how free Hakimi is on the right-hand side, on the other side of the pitch. He's got the whole half of the pitch to himself. Got 6-7 shirts around the ball. He needs one pass in and then another pass out. Get it out of there as quickly as you can.
Diop to think about that one. Reminder, James Corden and the After Hours crew will be on Fox tonight. Another nightly wrap of today's World Cup action and special guests, including Whitney Cummings on Fox at midnight. Looking forward to that.
That just about sums it up for Morocco. Mazraoui just passing the ball clean off the pitch, turning to his teammates and going, what was that? Why are you giving me the ball there? Shake of the head from the manager. This is an abject first half.
Yes, it's been absolutely wretched from Morocco when you consider the high standards that they've set for themselves at this World Cup. Canada far more impressive, far more effective.
And you have to give him credit. I mean, I was just desperately hoping for that flag to come up. But how much have Morocco been poor and how good have Canada been off the ball? You have to say they've been really impressive in how they've hassled and harried Morocco.
Well, right now, I don't think Morocco will mind going into the interval. Chance to gather their thoughts. I'm sure, from the point of view of Mohamed Ouabi, chance to change one or two things. First of the round of 16 matches. Possession with Morocco, but to be honest, it's been mostly meaningless possession.
Yeah, they need to change. They need to change the intensity.
Louache going to work against Al-Hal. Away by Mazraoui, but over the head of Rahimi, the substitute, the man who came on earlier for the injured Saibari. Element of risk about that. But it was Bombito who brought it down. Larea deciding to cut in. Mustachio and those quick passes from the Canadians. Ahmed was involved in that little triangle, but now they look a bit more exposed, and Bombito didn't put in the challenge, and space here for Morocco. El Kanous. But then they lose the ball. It was El Ainaoui. Chaotic little passage of play there.
Well, it was a fantastic recovery by the Canadian team, but therein lays the threat. Morocco got it right once, and all of a sudden they were through. El Ainaoui let them down with the sloppy bit of play coming back into it. But all of a sudden, the game changed.
Here is El Ainaoui, and now Al-Hal for Morocco, and Mazraoui, and he decides to play it back to Bono. And added time at the end of a first half that has not been pretty for Morocco. With Canada, well, what you see is what you get, what you usually get with Jesse Marsh coached teams. Winners to face Paraguay or France at the quarter-final stage. Paraguay, who eliminated Germany on penalties. To Fougeron. And he took a knock in the process, and Well, there's going to be another caution. El Khanous joins the club.
Tail of the first half. It's well read by de Fougerolles, but from there you're thinking it was your touch more than anything, El Khanous, that's led you into this problem where you're having to take evasive action. It's a little bit harsh on him, I feel, but the way that this first half has gone, it felt inevitable it was going to be another yellow card.
Hilal El Khanous helped Stuttgart reach the final of the German Cup this past season, only to lose to double winners Bayern. Well, the first half to forget about for Morocco. Different story for Canada. They might not be on the score sheet, but they have dictated the terms with a full throttle approach. Canada 0, Morocco 0 here in Houston. Let's send it back to Rob Stone in Philadelphia.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more, or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Time now for halftime here at the FIFA World Cup 2026 on iHeartRadio, presented by Fox One. And now a look at today's first half.
45 minutes in the books at Houston Stadium, and this match is a surprising result right here at halftime. 0-0 between Canada and Morocco. We welcome you into the halftime show. My name is Jackson Feltz. I'm alongside the three-time national champion head coach Pete Fewing. Our first half recap is brought to you by the Home Depot. Upgrade your FIFA World Cup 2026 setup. Build it like Beckham from living room to lawn with the Home Depot. And take the fast free delivery assist. The Home Depot, official FIFA World Cup 2026 supporter, subject to availability. Well, this game is 0-0 right now. The better chances in this first half have certainly come from the Canadian side, Pete, and that kind of comes as a surprise to how maybe poor or how much of a lack of attack we have seen from Morocco.
I'm 0 for 2 days in a row. Thinking Cape Verde would bunker in, thinking Canada today would bunker in. They played wide open. Canada's been good. They've given up possession, but they've had better of the chances. It's 33% possession for Canada, 67 for Morocco, but Canada has 4 shots, 2 on goal, right? And so, and Morocco had 1 from distance,
right?
Not a problem for the Canadian goalkeeper. So, Crepio. So it feels like Canada is on the front foot. Olise had a phenomenal chance. Great turn inside the box. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Balogun, the way he plays with his back to the goal.
Right.
Turns, hits it with his left foot. If he maybe clips it, goalkeeper goes down quick for Morocco, or he could have cut it to his left, but an excellent chance. So right now, we said get to the hydration break at 0-0. Now we're halftime 0-0. And I would say Jesse Marsch, his energy is lifting his team up and giving them confidence. And I imagine it's a fiery, enthusiastic speech in the locker room from Jesse Marsch.
Absolutely. I mean, you mentioned that chance from Oluwaseyi. It's certainly the chance of the first half so far. That coming there in the 19th minute, that great turn really takes a tremendous save there. For Morocco, I mean, I think, Pete, for me, the thing is I'm not sure they were ready for Canada to play them straight up. They were expecting, I think, what we were both expecting, which is a Canadian team that played Switzerland, where they sat back, and that was a Switzerland team that Canada didn't have to sit back, but they did anyway. So we kind of expected that might be the kind of way that they played. I don't think Morocco was ready for the game plan that Jesse Marsch brought out. And, I mean, it's leading. Morocco, as of a few minutes ago, had 0.02 expected goals. I'll say that again. Their XG, 0.02 for a Morocco team that got by Netherlands, that clearly is one of the favorites in this tournament to perhaps go back to a semifinal like they did in 2022. But I think that Morocco wasn't ready for the way Canada played them.
I think you're right. I think Jesse Marsch said, let's change the tactics. Let's surprise them. Let's go punch them in the face. Let's go right at them. Right? Let's get numbers forward. Let's not sit back and bunker. And I think you're right. And it may be the same for Argentina yesterday with Cape Verde. And now you said it to me a moment ago about now they've got yellow cards all the way down to the right.
That's right. Yeah, really quick. Their right back Hakimi and their right winger both are on yellow cards. That's interesting. Go ahead.
It is interesting and kind of makes Hakimi have to be a little bit more cautious, right? And Jesse Marsch will know this, and they'll say, hey, let's go take him on. Hakimi is the best defender in the world on the right-hand side. So I'm not sure you want to spend a ton of time trying to exploit that, but it is something to be aware of. So, yeah, they've done a great job. Maybe they come out in the second half the same. Maybe they bunker a little bit for a while to kind of, again, get the rhythm. When we have these breaks, hydration breaks, halftime breaks, sometimes that's where teams don't come out as sharp as they need to, and they give up goals. When Morocco goes forward, they do look like they can be very, very dangerous. There's no question this is, again, last World Cup, getting to the Final Four. So this is a team that you can't say, okay, we got them right where we want them.
Right.
We need another focused 45 minutes plus stoppage.
Canada has been very impressive. You mentioned Morocco going forward. I mean, maybe the best time Morocco had going forward came 45+4. Big counterattack. It looks like they have numbers, but it's a credit to the Canadian. I mean, I want to say, you got to give Canada their flowers. I guess I should say you got to give them their maple leaves. It is an incredible job that they've done, especially in that 45+4 moment, to get back, get organized so quickly defensively, to not allow Morocco to get going on really any of those counterattacks. It's been a great game so far. Canada is in it. As you mentioned, they are punching them in the face. Can Canada make the big punch that gets a goal on Morocco? We'll take a break. We'll come back and give you some keys to the second half. You're listening to FIFA World Cup 2026 on iHeartRadio.
Discover a new podcast from our library of over 350,000 titles. Here's an iHeartRadio podcast preview.
Imagine you have a dream, an ambition, but you always feel like you're missing something. A piece of the puzzle you just can't put your finger on.
And then you meet someone, a collaborator, a partner, a kindred spirit, or even a rival. A person that dares you, drives you to create something truly inspiring.
That chemistry of two people in a singular pursuit allows you to achieve the success and fame you never could have on your own. Together, you make a mark on the world. I'm Faith Saley.
And I'm Rico Galliano, and we are the hosts of the new series from Wondery, 1+1.
From the people behind Business Wars and Dirty John comes a weekly series about what happens when two insanely gifted people come together in conflict and then collaboration to create something truly transformative.
People like Lennon and McCartney.
With working with John, I got into literature without meaning to.
And Google's Larry Page and Sergey Brin.
You didn't like each other very much at the beginning, or no? But you tolerated each other.
Yeah, I think, Larry's kind of obnoxious. I'm very easygoing.
When you get down to it, really, every great collaboration is a sort of love story. Sometimes for real, like Jay-Z and Beyonce.
And with each 6-episode series, we're going to take you through some of these amazing stories.
And we'll realize what about these power couples,
these far-sighted geniuses,
these creative soulmates,
made them so great. And maybe what we can all learn from them.
1+1.
Listen and follow this podcast for free on the iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts all in one.
are listening to FIFA World Cup 2026 on iHeartRadio. We welcome you back to the halftime show. It is from Houston Stadium, 0-0 between Morocco and Canada. Canada, who has played extremely well, had certainly the better chances there in that first 45 minutes. And now we look ahead to the second half. Our keys to the second half are brought to you by Fox One. The excitement of the FIFA World Cup is now streaming live on Fox One, the official English streaming platform to catch every unforgettable moment. Fox One brings the action straight to your screen so you never miss a goal. Download Fox One and experience the FIFA World Cup live. Pete, I want to go for both of these teams, starting with Canada. They were the better team in the first half. What are the keys to Canada finding a win in the final 45?
Well, their best chance came from a ball that split the lines right down the middle, right? We talk about Hakimi, the right back, being one of the best, if not the best, outside back. So getting those balls slipped in to Alouache in the middle of the park where he can turn. He does well with his back to the goal. So try to get him more service. Restarts, I think, are going to be a factor. Corner kicks, both directions, right? Each team can be pretty dominant on a restart in the air if the service is good. So don't give any unnecessary fouls. Don't give anything away where someone's got a free kick at the edge of the box. We saw that Argentina yesterday. Messi had 3 from the edge of the box. Didn't capitalize on any of them. But don't give any cheap opportunities away. Keep going down the middle. The flanks are very important. I think the subs for Canada can come in.
Yeah.
It could be, Larin got 2 goals, and he was not happy that he didn't start.
Alphonso Davies played 15 minutes off the bench. He is very clearly Canada's, I think, best player. We can all agree on that. He's coming back from injury.
Yep.
Can Alphonso Davies play more than 15 minutes?
Yeah, and Schaffelberg on the wing, on the right-hand side, got pace, could get his crosses in, and they're all veteran players. And so, and this is when you say, hey, can you go? Yes, I can go. So I think for Davies, if he could get 25 minutes, if they keep it, let's get to the next hydration break. And sometimes you say, here's our plan. Get to hydration break. Let's get Davies on. See where we go.
And now for Morocco. They didn't do much of anything in the first half. How can they reverse it and play better and get a winner in the second half?
Well, again, Hakimi is such an important piece to their... Saibari has really been a non-factor. Yeah. And he's, he's had multiple goals for them. Diop getting forward, he's one I'm always concerned about on restarts. So if you're Morocco, when you get your restarts, get him involved. But they've got, Brahimi is not starting, but again, another guy that can come off the bench. So flank play has been very good for Morocco in the past, getting balls to their forward up front. Saibari, he hasn't gotten any of the service. So they've got to play better. They've got to do what they do best.
They certainly do. Right now, Canada was the better team in the first 45 minutes. This is a battle between... we didn't know there would be a battle between heavyweights. We didn't know there would be a full-on punch-in-your-face boxing match, but that is what we are getting at Houston Stadium. So let's head back out to Houston. It's 0-0 between Canada and Morocco. Can Morocco show that 2022 was not a fluke? Can Canada continue their best World Cup run in the country's history? The second half in a 0-0 game will start next. You are listening to FIFA World Cup 2026 on iHeartRadio.
The free iHeartRadio app is #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Discover a new podcast from our library of over 350,000 titles. Here's an iHeartRadio podcast preview.
When you work undercover, you really have to play the role because you stand to lose more than just an Oscar. If you make a mistake, these people will kill you in the blink of an eye.
If the American government asked you to move to Colombia to hunt down the world's most brutal narco-terrorist, what would you say?
I was a rookie policeman shaking in my boots.
In the 1980s, a new generation of American special agents landed in Latin America, tasked with capturing a new breed of ultraviolet narco-terrorist.
She would kill you if you owed her money. She would kill you if you encroached on her territory. She would kill you if you personally insulted her. Sometimes she would just kill you for the fun of it.
He had all the resources in the world, hundreds of millions of dollars.
A man that could have a political candidate running for president assassinated on stage. This was war.
My name's John Cuban. I'm the host of a new podcast series called Real Narcos. It follows the stories of the world's most dangerous drug lords and the American special agents who hunted them down.
Here you are a doorway away from the most wanted man in the world. You're not expecting him to go down without a fight.
We didn't have sophisticated software. That didn't exist. The software was a pen and paper.
The only destiny drug traffickers have is either prison or death.
Real Narcos sits down with the fearless agents and journalists who were there on the ground at the time to tell the inside story of the hunt for some of history's most dangerous criminal masterminds. These guys are the real deal. And this is Real Narcos.
Listen and follow this podcast for free on the iHeartRadio app. Number one for music, radio, and podcasts all in
second
one.
half of today's FIFA World Cup 2026 match. Follow all the exclusive World Cup action on iHeartRadio.
I can't get my eyes off of it, by the way. Rod Stone, Clint Dempsey, Landon Donovan, Alexi Lawless. Landon, not a typical Moroccan first half. What do you expect in the second?
They were shocking. You know, the first game France played, they had a half like this. They were awful. Turned it around. They made some adjustments. I'll be very curious to see what Morocco and their manager do to. I don't know if it's a substitution. They have to change something, Lex.
But on the other side, if you're Canada, this Morocco team is ripe. If you're Jesse Marsh, you're saying, hey, you got to figure out a way to. The chances that you create are wonderful, but you got to put the ball on the back of the net. So that man right there has got to be thinking, we have a chance of going through against a Morocco team and getting us out of the round of 16. What do you do about Alphonso Davies, Clint?
He came in last game, so I think he'll come in this game. When he comes on the field, he's a game changer. Also, he gives the crowd a huge boost. So, yeah, I think he comes into this game and could be a difference maker. But like Landon said, Morocco needs to come out and play like the Morocco that we know. They need to try to boss the game, be more on the front foot, create more chances. And if you're Canada, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, Jesse March brought him in, 75th minute last time, knowing they could have gone to extra. So he's got to be at least 45, 55, 60 minutes fit. So he might come in even earlier today.
0-0 after 45. We'll see you next on the post-game show. Now back out to Houston, your match announcers, Derek Ray and Rob Green.
Yes, thank you very much, Rob. And just to continue the point that Clint was making, Richie Larea, one of 6 players booked in the first half, so that might play a part in the thinking of Jesse Marsh when it comes to deploying Alphonso Davies, even though he has been injured, that hamstring problem that he picked up towards the end of the season with Bayern. 0-0 here. We're in Houston, Texas. I wouldn't be surprised if the music playing in the Moroccan dressing room at halftime was "Show Me the Way to Amarillo." Anywhere but here. It was not an impressive first half showing by Morocco, with Canada calling the shots, certainly in the early going. And you would say tactically so far a triumph for Jesse Marsh over Mohamed Ouabi, but a long way to go, Rob.
Yeah, absolutely. Half a job done for Canada. You feel that they've got the blueprint of the game of how they want to play. Looking at that sort of moment there, that breakaway moment, winning the ball back, that's the bit that they're waiting for. They were brilliant at it in the first half, but couldn't capitalise. Morocco, you have to say, as the guys were saying in the studio, need to come up with a different answer. Already, Hakimi's a little bit higher on this right-hand side.
Achraf Hakimi, usually the catalyst for good things as far as Morocco are concerned. The aforementioned Larea putting in the challenge. It was a feisty first half at times, especially as it grew older, with Michael Oliver, the English referee, reaching for his pocket on no fewer than 6 occasions. Hakimi chisels a throw-in out of it for the Atlas Lions.
Yeah, there was more bookings than talking points, weren't there?
I think that's fair to say. We hope it's different in the second half, because as much as anything, we want to make sure that Landon Donovan remains awake. Landon, we heard you in the studio talking about your red-eye experience. So let's make sure you don't fall asleep. Unahi for Morocco. It's faced there by Ahmed. Winning the ball again, Canada. Oluwaseyi, and once more. Came off chop last of all. Can't really afford to do that sort of thing against Canada, as Eustáquio gets himself right in there beside Michael Oliver.
Oh, they're pleading the case for a foul in there somewhere. That pull of the shirt there from Unai. But you're looking again, the movement was slow, the passing was slow from Morocco, anything but from Canada. When they get the ball, they pounce and go for it.
Wasn't given as offside. It's going back to that last move. Look at the disparity as far as corners go. Short one here from Eustáquio. Ahmed. Maria trying to switch the point of attack. Well, they had de Fougerolles, as you would expect, as one of the targets of the set play. It's been the pattern throughout.
Yeah, he's been a real handful to pick up for Morocco.
Will Morocco wake up? Oh, the challenge by de Fougerolles. And there's another one. Another yellow card. We're up to 7 now. It's the turn of Luc de Fougerolles.
Probably the easiest one of the afternoon for Michael Oliver. Absolutely no need to make this challenge. Just shepherd him down the line. There was no support in the penalty area. There was nothing for them to go and play with. Just allow him down the line. Brahimi taking the foul. Thank you very much. And the yellow card.
Determined defender. An important one for Canada. De Fougerolles taking the place of Derek Cornelius in this Canada team today. Ashraf Hakimi. And that was superbly worked. What a hit by Unahi. At long last, Morocco have liftoff in Houston. A rocket from Azzedine Unahi on the 4th of July. Morocco hit the front.
Well, a moment of brilliance and a really poor performance from Morocco. And you watch the white shirts run to the near post and drag the black shirts away from the space. And now it's just got to wait. The weight of the ball is perfect. It's sat 20 yards out. Pick your spot. And from there, all he's got to do is wrap his foot round it. Such is the weight of the ball from Hakimi. It's a wonderfully executed goal. Just through the bodies. That's something from the training ground. They have been poor in this game, but they have match winners in their team.
Well, a contrast in emotions. Canada have got to get on with it. They've got to pick themselves up. Psychologically not great to have conceded early in the second half. Having been the better team in the first 45. Well, it's what the game needed, to be honest. And a bolt of lightning. That's what it was for Unahi's 10th international goal. Marvellous effort, that.
Brilliant, brilliant free kick. But you have to say, it was needless. De Fougerolles, a needless tackle on the touchline, gave an opportunity from nothing. Yes, wonderfully executed, imagination, everyone involved in the team, but completely needless.
Eustáquio trying to do the conducting of the orchestra there in midfield. Larrea again, Eustáquio, and here is the man we were talking about, the Fougerolles. Not a great moment for him, but again that challenge, yellow card, free kick, the rest is history. But now Canada looking to threaten We know what Jonathan David is capable of. Record goal scorer for Canada's national team, but Morocco looking a lot more confident now, and Hakimi striding forward with purpose for the Atlas Lions. Still with Hakimi, it was Ahmed with the challenge. Nothing wrong with that.
Brilliant tackle in the end, but the opportunities to cross the ball there for Hakimi, for his teammates, was on. Chose not to do it. Two players free in the box, waiting for the cross.
Hakimi is so often the man who makes them tick. It was Ahmed, his contribution. Well, the trend for Canada, not great when conceding first, but my goodness, they have been a team transformed at this World Cup. Hadn't as much as picked up a point in previous World Cup participations.
He's got some pondering to do, hasn't he? Yeah. You see in that first half, you say, well, as good as it was, and we talked about it, Derek, that the fact is that they hadn't scored. And you've got to score when you're on top in games like this, because things like that can happen against great teams.
Morocco, who didn't get going at all in the first half. And a real shot in the arm at the beginning of the second, courtesy of Azzedine Ounahi. Don't forget, coming up on Fox, it's France, it's Les Bleus, up against Paraguay in Philadelphia. Kylian Mbappe, Michael Olise and company. That match is next here on Fox. The entertainment continues in between the cookouts. And Diop has tried to touch it forward. Larea, Onuache, and Bouadi was back there to buttress the Morocco defence. Well, they could be under pressure here, Canada. And Brahim Diaz had made that lung-bursting run, initially with the ball at his feet.
Yeah, it was a poor ball from him. He did really well to ride the challenge and then release his teammate, but he pushed him too wide, Rahimi, and he's having to stretch and drag it back. And from there, never really going to get the cutback that he needed. The game stretched all of a sudden.
So Hakimi and Ounahi talking it over. That was the combination for the goal that separates these two countries in the first match in the round of 16 here at the FIFA World Cup. Achraf Hakimi looking for Bilal El Khanous, and again by Hakimi. Al-Hal is running out of space here in Space City. This is the last of the matches here. Well, the pride of Racine, Wisconsin, but not looking too happy.
No.
At the moment.
He's pondering, and you're thinking, the obvious question is, when are you going to bring on Alphonso Davies on? It's no good him sitting on the touchline waiting, and we're 55 minutes in now, and the guys in the studio are talking about, how quickly can he bring him on? Well, you're out in 35 minutes with your best player by a long way on the bench. You may as well bring him on and take him off in extra time if you have to.
Yeah, because Canada know they have to throw everything they can at Morocco. Progress at the World Cup on the line. There is no middle ground. You win or you fall by the wayside. Buchanan, and that was not what he wanted to produce. It's Bombito, and back to Crepel. He's been battling an injury. He was coming in. Sigur has been mostly the sitter in this constellation today for Canada. Al-Hal for Bono. And all the way up towards Rahimi. Bit of targeted kicking. Ashraf Hakimi. Clear free kick in favour of Larea. Well, what can Canada do about this? Ahmed. And it came off Ayoub Bouadi, the youngster. Last of all, corner here for Canada. And we've said it before, we'll say it again. Set plays are significant for the Canadians.
Yeah, and his delivery from Stakio is terrific, and they've been undone by something a little bit different. Can they do something a little bit different themselves?
Eustachio sending it in as it bobbles around in there. Fougerolles again competing for it, as is his want, as is Canada's need. Sigur over there in position of Hajduk Split in Croatia. Bombito in there, and of course de Fougerolles was intended for de Fougerolles. Johnston and Eustachio. Morocco seem to have the situation under control. El Canouz gave it away a bit too easily, I must say.
Eustachio in this side is the one with the creative edge for Canada. Centre midfield has got the ability on the ball.
Buchanan takes the fall inside the area. Michael Oliver had a look from a few yards away. The offside flag was up in any case. Mazraoui is the player on the ground. Tejon Buchanan not letting it be known what he thought as he went to ground, but offside, the verdict drop.
Well, it's academic, the decision. Al-Hal just being a little bit clumsy. Two hands on the bat. There's no real force in it, but the action's there. There's absolutely no need. This was the action that got Mazraoui. More the fall awkward than anything.
There's that clash with Johnston. Reminder to scan the QR code on the screen to vote for the Michelob Ultra Superior Player of the Match. 1-0 here to Morocco. They were very slow, sluggish in coming out of the traps. And a wonder goal from Unahi. And that is the difference. That's the goal that right now stands to put Morocco through at the expense of the co-hosts. Canada still alive for now. Similar story for the other co-hosts, Mexico and, of course, the USA. We'll play tomorrow and on Monday, respectively. I'll say it does add to the fun of the fair, to the pageantry, when the co-hosts are still participating. We've seen that time and again down the years at the World Cup. Changes coming up for Morocco. They will be bringing on Sofiane Amrabat, who was one of their heroes 4 years ago. Defensive midfield player. Also, Shemsdine Talbi will make an appearance off the bench. Bouadi is protecting the ball, and frustration here for Onawashe and the other Canadian players.
Well, they did really well. Bouadi did well to just marshal it there. Wasn't helped by Unai's teammate. Again, getting stuck in that press from Canada.
Well, that's going to be the end of the shift for the 18-year-old Bouadi, and also for El Kanous. I've seen him play better. So Shalbi and also Amrabat at this juncture.
Shelby's a like-for-like swap. Came up with the assist for the goal against the Netherlands. Amrabat will just sit in midfield and be a block to get against.
And there's a change as well for Canada. Kyle Larin, 2 goals in 3 matches at this World Cup, is on the pitch now. Oluwaseyi bids goodbye to this round of 16 encounter. And now they're going to have to chase back Canada. Rahimi. Well, the switch of play was a very poor one. Ay, ay, ay. It looked as though trouble was brewing for the Canadians. Unahi, really classy strike earlier to get the better of Crépol. And played in again towards Rahimi. Brahim Diaz. Oh, that was glorious football. And then Hakimi, but didn't quite come off for the Atlas Lions. Still just the 1 goal.
Confidence is growing though for Morocco, and Canada have got more aggressive in a man-to-man press. The gaps are opening up.
Brahim Diaz. And it was over vigorous. He played it in with a bit of venom. Ahmed. It's those little flicks and tricks. Amrabat. Almost immediate activity for him. Brahim Diaz is an entertainer. He's also a producer.
Yeah, now you see it. No, you don't. There it was. And it went straight through, clean nutmeg. Brilliant bit of footwork, and there's a little smile on his face for the first time in the game.
And I think he's put smiles on quite a few faces around the USA with that. It's all very, I use this word deliberately, stodgy from Morocco in the first half. It was a bit fearful as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were scared of that counter-attack from Canada. Now, all of a sudden, you feel that they got the game where they want it to be. And they know Canada have to come at them and open up a little bit more. Amrabat sitting now is a really good substitution because his experience, his know-how of just standing around and being in the right place, right time, right pass.
Nahi, now that could have been interesting. Bombito came across and no transgression, apparently, despite the protestations from Rahimi.
Well, he was never going to get to the ball. That's what Michael Oliver saw. Whether there was contact or not is a different matter.
Magnificent goal by Unahi to give Morocco the lead early in the second half here in Houston, Texas. Ahmed. And Diaz was trying to do the defending. Larrea. Well, the flag went up in any case. Amrabat knows his job.
Yeah, not for the first time in this since Morocco have scored. Canada drifted offside, and just the eagerness, and this is the difference maker. May not have been the hardest shot in the tournament, but one of the most accurate ones. When they needed something the most, someone turned up and gave a match-winning moment.
So 1-0 to Morocco. Is that going to be all they need? Or can Canada liven up in attack? Jesse Marsh said it before a ball was kicked. We are the underdogs. Many will write us off, but we don't especially care. It's Buchanan trying to put the wind up. Bono. Larin heading it on. Eustachio was trying to make his way through initially. Wasn't the only one, and Bono is down, and that is a yellow card. It was certainly overzealous. Kyle Larin He'll say he was just going for the ball. Well, yet another booking.
You can't blame him. That was a horrible ball from Hakimi to send it back to Bono once, and then that just allowing his goalkeeper to come out and take the blow. Not much of a contact, really, from Lowry. It's more the aggression, the intent, than the actual contact. But almost blameless in the context of the game.
Well, midway through the second half. 8 yellow cards, by the way, now. As we go into a break for drinks here in Houston, Texas. Superbly worked, this routine, and the finish applied by Unahi. Morocco in pole position now.
The free
This is Lele Pons from Suite 305 with Lele Pons. Game day at my house is chaos, but like in a fun way. The TV's ready, the remotes are ready, the kids' stores are going off, and somehow everybody needs batteries at the exact same time. That's why I keep Duracell stocked. And Duracell just released limited edition Duracell and Messi battery packs. The design is inspired by Messi's iconic left leg tattoo. So every battery feels like it comes with an extra kick. From the TV remote to automatic corkscrew, Duracell keeps us game day ready. Duracell double and AAA batteries are the only ones built different with power boost ingredients for long-lasting performance you can trust. Find the limited edition Duracell and Messi batteries in stores at Lowe's and Walmart or on Amazon.
FIFA World Cup takes the global stage from June 11th through July 19th on Fox 1, the official English streaming platform of FIFA World Cup 2026. Stream all 104 matches live and get closer to the action with a personalized viewing experience built around you. Choose up to 4 streams with multi-view, catch highlights before jumping into the action, get live stats in real time, and replay key plays instantly. Experience the FIFA World Cup live on Fox 1. Watch 3 days free. For details, visit Fox.com. Offers are subject to change. See Fox 1 for complete terms and conditions.
Upgrade your FIFA World Cup 2026 viewing experience. Build it like Beckham from the living room to the lawn with the Home Depot. Create a box seating experience with flowers for pops of color surrounding your pitch, the smell of grilled favorites, and a freshly painted fence sporting your team's colors. Fast free delivery is your home field advantage with charcoal, string lights, or whatever the game calls for right to your door. A clean assist. Build it like Beckham for match day. The Home Depot, official FIFA World Cup 2026 supporter. Subject to availability.
Eyes on the prize now for Morocco. Jesse Marsh and Canada got to try to find something magical, something inspirational in the closing phase of this game. Splendid strike by Azzedine Ounahi is the difference. Morocco, who've had to play for the bulk of the game without Ismail Saibari. Went off injured. Well, you look at the numbers there, and the corners count, and the XG. Well, you would think Canada are still very much in this. Morocco have become imbued with the spirit of improvement in the second half, Rob.
Yeah, confidence has grown ever since the goal went in. XG's all well and good, but a shot from the edge of the box with the quality of the players that they've got is a greater XG than what we just saw. Jesse Marsh, I'm just wondering how he can change this game, and we're talking about Alphonso Davies coming on, and you're reaching the point now where you're saying he can't be fit. He can't be fit to come on the game, to enter the field, because it's been that long.
Let's see. Alphonso Davies was given 15 minutes in the last game against South Africa. Canada, remember, left it very late before securing victory. Last gasp goal from Stefan Eustachio. Morocco in control here. And Hakimi take the throw in. They're talking it over on the Canadian bench. Eustachio, but that is going to be meat and drink to Hal, who plays it back to Bono. He's a left-footed goalkeeper in terms of his preference. Alistair Johnston, bit of an aimless ball though. Amrabat now patrolling the centre of the pitch. Extra defensive presence for Morocco. Well, it doesn't always have to be pretty. Sometimes grit will do, allied to the odd moment of individual skill. That's what we saw earlier.
Yeah, they've got to keep believing that there's one chance, one opportunity in this game which will change it. How they go about it. You have to say, unfortunately for Canada, you just can't see how they're going to come about it other than a bit of gusto.
The USA playing Belgium in the round of 16 on Monday on Fox. And our coverage on another huge day starts at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. What a coup that would be if the USA could eliminate Belgium, even though they've had one or two struggles at this World Cup. Robbie and I watched them a lot in the early part of the group stage.
Yeah, they've been flat and had to really rip the emergency cord in the last game to get through, didn't they? So whether that buoys them and brings them on to something else, but they certainly have questions left for Belgium.
Well, the Canadian fans here in Houston continue to believe. Had a nice chat with a few of them in our hotel last night. Quite a few of them were on our flight actually down from Toronto. And it wasn't lost on them how formidable Morocco can be. 28 goals all time at the World Cup, as you saw. And they're a better team now than they were 5 or 6 years ago. Philosophy has changed, less reactive, more possession focused. Al-Hal got plenty of mustard on that header.
That was well judged, wasn't it? And you feel that Canada are launching it forwards now in the hope of a mistake. And at international football, at this standard, it's not the way that you go about getting back into games. Needs sustained possession and creativity.
Laren it was who passed it. Came on as a substitute just a few minutes ago. Sigur. Twelve come from behind victories. This World Cup, 4 we saw in the round of 32. Canada never a team under Jesse Marsh to throw in the towel. Buchanan.
Yeah, there's not that space in behind anymore, is there? That launch pass, that ball over the top of the defence, asks a question. Isn't there? So resort to plan B. Long throws and set pieces, maybe. If Fujrol setting up, trotting in.
This is something Canada work on assiduously. Johnston trying to find the right trajectory. Johnston again. Sigur and Bono. Might yet be a chance for Canada to fire in a shot, but it's gone. Well, maybe not. And Eustachio fighting for it. Michael Oliver was right there. And the decision here goes Canada's way. Free kick in a position of menace.
Well, the Moroccan teammates will turn to an eye and say that's terrible play. Just hold the ball up. Just Amrabat's presence. That little arm across and challenge from behind. It's close to the edge of the area, but both of them just outside, as you can see, when the challenge was made. So they've not created much, Canada, but this is a big, big moment in the context of the game.
Amrabat with the foul. Now, will that be costly in the grand scheme of things?
This may take a while, folks.
I was going to suggest that, Rob. I think you're right.
It's actually a little bit possibly too close.
Yeah.
You're looking at the size of the players, the wall, whether they put the draft excluder, the player lying down behind the wall. They might do that. All of a sudden, it becomes quite literally a really tall order to get it over the wall.
So mini conference going on. Eustachio, Ahmed and Jonathan David.
Well, the Canadian wall now makes it really hard for Bono in the goal. He has to just stand and wait as we look at it on the right-hand side of that goal. Trust that the wall will do its job on the other side.
What a colossal moment in the context of this game. And David went for finesse. Would dearly love to have that moment back. Boah.
Just went for the ding, saw the space, saw the gap. That is such a difficult skill. You look at the guys, they're 6'3", 6'4". It's a deal. You've got to get it over him in a jump.
Well, Larrea and Ahmed being replaced. So, Promise David is on. Not related to Jonathan David. And Jacob Schaffelberg out on the pitch too. So still no Alphonso Davies. I have to believe that Jesse Marsch feels that he's not ready to contribute right now. Buchanan for Canada, and he forced the save there from Bono. Made him think, made him work. And a corner as the outcome.
A bright idea, nearly caught him out, Bono. A shot from this angle doesn't show him having to adjust his feet to get it right and get set by the strike by the time he's hit the ball. But bright play from Buchanan.
Well, have Canada perhaps found the second wind? Still time for them. Eustachio wasn't the best of corners, however. Stefan Eustachio. Sigur. Really launching one. Not even from several miles away, that looked like foul play. Promise David. Less than promising start to the match from his point of view.
Yeah, he's been told to go and make his presence felt. Took that to the extreme there, no real need, but Bono all of a sudden being called into action. Buchanan with that time and space, you just see from that distance, it's not the cleanest of strikes, it's an awkward one for Bono, but he gets his feet right. He's been performing at this level for many, many years.
10 minutes to go. Can Morocco walk through the door and find themselves in the quarterfinals again? Or will Jesse Marsch and Canada have something to say about that?
Jonathan Davis come out onto this left-hand side. So Promise Davis and Carl Larin are the two centre forwards. I can't imagine him staying out on the left wing. He's going to tuck in. He's going to try and find the opportunity. They're going to try and hammer this door down, Canada.
Eustachio, so trying to catch out Morocco here. No chance for Eustachio to play it in. And that suits Morocco. Down to the ground and back again with Krepel. De Fougerolles. There's Johnston higher up on the right, was trying to make the connection with him, but failed to do so. And now Canada looking a bit exposed. This is where Morocco really can profit. Brahim Diaz with a spin at the turn, and it's a masterful piece of finishing. He's done it again. Unahi. A two-goal cushion. Morocco are nearly there. was a tough shift for Morocco in the first half, but now they are excelling in the finishing department.
Unahi at the double has seen Morocco through. Another cutback and another wonderful finish. The game was getting stretched, and all of a sudden a 4v2 was created, and there's just a willingness to run and break forwards. Brahim Diaz with the setback, just that little moment just to compose himself, just with the touch. And then from there, the muscle memory must still be in the body from the first finish, and he hammers it into the top corner. They have not played well. They have been tested by Canada, but you feel that is enough to see Morocco through.
Yeah, sometimes it's not how you do it, but simply that you have achieved your goal. And a 2-goal contribution from Unahi. And Canada now have that sinking feeling here in Houston, Texas. Staring elimination squarely in the face. Would be the first of the co-hosts to exit the tournament. But they have contributed plenty, and you never know. It's David letting rip. Jonathan David was promised David on the pitch as well, and played over by Schaffelberg, but into the grateful clutches of Bono. And Morocco 2 to the good. Well placed now to reach the quarterfinals of the World Cup.
You have to say that Canada have probably played as well as they could have played. They've made the game their game and fallen short. Jesse Marsch has had the tactics. They've got it right off the ball. There was always going to be a ceiling for Canada within this tournament. They really have been fantastic in this game, you feel. They've done everything they can.
Johnston scurrying forward, but nobody there to attack the ball, and Bono was there again, quickly bowling it out. The Moroccan fans want more. Unahi, and is having the match of his life just about, and off the woodwork. My goodness, Rahimi seemed to hang in the air. Just for a second looked as though it might be a third Moroccan goal. Jonathan David and Buchanan popping up on the left. Scraped away by El Ainaoui for Morocco.
Well, that really would sign it off in style. Again, similar balls, similar outcome to the second goal in terms of outnumbered.
Schaffelberg threatened to get a bit tangled up. That time, Sigur. Buchanan left it. Jonathan David. Schaffelberg. Canada must feel they have to do everything at pace. With time against them. Again, it was Schaffelberg. Not the best of balls in by Sigur. Thomas David came on earlier. Eustachio. The magic touch in the last round against South Africa in Los Angeles for Canada. And they have made strides under Jesse Marsch. Of that there is no doubt. Even though they might go out of the competition here, there is something to build on. Double change in the offing for Morocco. Samir El Mourabet, one of the players to enter the fold, and also Marwan Sadan. He was a very late addition to the squad. Naïef Aguer had to withdraw because of injury. Sigur and Buchanan have gone off for Canada. Jadon Nelson is on, so is the vastly experienced Jonathan Osorio. Closing stages of this game, the first of the round of 16 matches. Eustachio, action stations for Canada, away by Bono. Straight away activity for Nelson, but Michael Oliver has stopped the play here. Well, Promise David and Bono both on the ground. Rob, let's have a look.
Yeah, it's collision in there. Again, foul on the goalkeeper, but there's no real complaints of anyone going for the ball. They've just got to throw everything at it now. The Canadians, you feel, they're going to fall short.
The 2 goals scored by Azzedine Ounahi. By the way, he's become the first Moroccan player to net twice in a World Cup match since Salaheddine Bassir did it in 1998 against Scotland in a 3-0 win.
Oh, you'll remember that one, Derek?
I do, yeah, I do very well. Good friend of mine, Craig Burley, got himself sent off for that one. Sorry, Craig, if you're watching.
This was, again, the moment that sealed it. And just that poise, that moment before the strike. He felt one off his foot into the bottom corner. Orchestrated celebrations, and finally feel that they can relax in this game. It's been a scrap, it's been a battle for them. It's not been pretty.
Don't forget, James Corden and the After Hours crew will be on Fox tonight for another nightly wrap-up of today's World Cup action. And delighted to say that the special guests include the talented Whitney Cummings. That's on Fox later. I hope Whitney is watching this game, so she can talk about it.
There's plenty to talk about, plenty to be proud of for Canada. Plenty of questions for Morocco stepping forwards.
Free kick here for Canada. Winners to meet Paraguay or France on Thursday in Boston. Schaffelberg, optimistic sort of ball in there. Well, the shot came in from Jonathan Osorio, such a highly respected figure in Canadian football circles. But it's asking a tremendous amount of Canada here. Osorio again goes to work. We're about to hit the 90-minute mark. Looks like 8 on the board. So it's not in the history books just yet, not by a long chalk. But do Canada have the guile? That's the question. They haven't really shown it. Alistair Johnston, the touch on there. Well, they need something dramatic. They certainly don't need handball, which is what has been spotted by referee Michael Oliver against Larin.
That's a tough call on Larin, but it's been tough on Canada. Those fans will have come more in hope than expectation. He's given his team great belief to compete, and they've certainly done that. I just feel now that every ball into the box is going to be so heavily dominated by white shirts. You've just got to find something, a little moment, a little bit special.
And it's been the Ounahi show. 2 very high quality goals. Rahimi by the corner flag has been resolved in favour of Canada. Wouldn't say it's the easiest match Michael Oliver has ever had as a referee. Flashpoints in the first half especially. Morocco showing that you can do it in a number of different ways. Ounahi with the brace for the Atlas Lions here against co-hosts Canada. Jonathan David And it was commanding play by Nail El Ainawi. What do Canada have left, realistically speaking, to throw at the Moroccan opponents? Again, El Ainawi, Jesse Marsh in the technical area. Knows it's getting a bit desperate for Canada now. Schaffelberg. Fougerolles with the pass. Nelson, that was a pretty impressive run. And a corner is what he gets out of the situation.
Yeah, he's done something a bit different, hasn't he? Coming on. A few tricks, a few turns, but they need something. They need it now.
Stacchio. And over it comes. Schaffelberg again. Bono again. Whistle's gone. And Morocco don't mind that. Look who was all the way up. Crépeau was an extra target. He's joined the throng.
It was him with the foul. Clattering into the bodies.
Morocco stand to become the first African team to reach the quarter-final stage in back-to-back World Cups. Their improvement is very real. Looks as though they'll face the winners of Paraguay, France. That match to come later on in Philadelphia. And Crépeau. Oh dear. Not what was needed.
You get the feeling that Morocco will just let out a big sigh of relief at the end of this game. It's been one way, they've had to do it another way. You said, Derek, there's a number of ways to win a game. It's not been their most attractive ways. It's not been the way that you feel that we see the identity of Morocco.
They certainly have higher gears to go to. Jonathan David. Schaffelberg. To take a nick, and he knew it. So another corner forthcoming. And Canada are praying for something of a miracle as Morocco inch ever closer to a victory. And Crépeau up again, made the leap. Well, had he connected with that one, you never know, Rob.
Well, he's made two runs from 70 yards. They've been brilliant.
Still, they plug away. Crépeau was hovering around the halfway line. That's his starting position right now. Nelson for Canada. Schaffelberg has been pretty active since coming on. And was he cut down there? Yes. He's chopped down by Rahimi. And a free kick to Canada.
Well, you're hoping Michael Oliver, for Canada's sake, will be adding time on for this free kick. They need it to go in. 2 goals in 2 minutes. It's something of dreams and something of quite a special order.
Stacchio is at the controls. Nelson there as well. Stacchio, and Nelson gave it a lash. Schaffelberg across the face of goal. And it was poked towards the target by Johnston. Not to be for Canada. 96 minutes on the clock now.
Just get the shot on target. You're in the dying seconds of your World Cup hopes seeping away. Just ask a question. They failed in that, and there's glum faces all round Canadian shirts.
But delight for Morocco. Pair of goals from Unahi. First half performance by Morocco was not up to scratch, and they knew it. have been better in the second half, but ultimately it came down to the quality of the finishing twice by Azzedine Ounahi.
I have to say they've been possibly the two moments of quality in the game, haven't they? And that's it. You make your moments count in international football.
Well, even though they do bow out, Canadian fans can be happy about the strides the national team has made under Jesse Marsch. We've seen it at most of the international tournaments. Can Brahim Diaz and Morocco finish on the highest of high notes? There is the answer. Brahimi to put the exclamation mark on it. Morocco are going through to the quarterfinals. Canada will make their exit. Job done in the second half by Morocco. Too much firepower for Canada.
Brahimi seals it. Morocco move on. They will have to improve in the upcoming rounds. Canadian players, the Canadian fans will be proud of what they've done today, but it's been caught on the break again. Brahim Diaz with that bit of quality, a bit of vision, the weight of the pass yet again from Brahim Diaz, just tees it up perfectly for Rahimi. He's got all the time and space in the world to pick his spot. They've done very, very little in an attacking sense, but what they have done is made it count, and that is a sign of a quality team.
Well, banging the drum for Morocco, so many in the stands, and Morocco are getting the full-on American experience from an Independence Day celebration in Houston now to a tea party in Boston 5 days from now. For Jesse Marsch and Canada, the World Cup dream is over. The first of the co-hosts to be eliminated, but the joy belongs to Morocco. Ounahi with a delightful double, and then Rahimi putting the seal on it. 3-0 to Morocco. Back to Rob Stone.
This is Lele Pons from Suite 305 with Lele Pons. Game day at my house is chaos, but like in a fun way. The TV's ready, the remotes are ready, the kids' stores are going off, and somehow everybody needs batteries at the exact same time. That's why I keep Duracell stocked. And Duracell just released limited edition Duracell and Messi battery packs. The design is inspired by Messi's iconic left leg tattoo, so every battery feels like it comes with an extra kick. From the TV remote to automatic corkscrew, Duracell keeps us game day ready. Duracell double and AAA batteries are the only ones built different with power boost ingredients for long-lasting performance you can trust. Find the limited edition Duracell and Messi batteries in stores at Lowe's and Walmart or on Amazon.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
Please be advised, you may want to stop eating the following foods immediately. Broccoli, kale, blueberries, quinoa, spinach. I thought those were good for me. What's healthy for one person may cause inflammation for another. So how do you know what your body actually needs? That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple, at-home gut health test that analyzes your real-time biology to give you personalized nutrition guidance and custom supplements. Many people who use Viome report more energy, better digestion, and improved mood within months. Stop guessing. Start knowing. Visit Viome.com. V as in Victor, IOME.com.
Time now as we look back at today's match with our post-match show as we continue our coverage of the FIFA World Cup 2026 on iHeartRadio.
It is a final from Houston Stadium. Morocco have advanced to the quarterfinals of FIFA World Cup 2026. We welcome you into the postgame show, everybody. My name is Jackson Feltz. I'm your host, alongside the three-time national champion head coach Pete Fewing. You are listening to FIFA World Cup 2026 on iHeartRadio. Morocco defeating Canada 3-0. Pete, it was a great first half from Canada. They couldn't find a goal. They played extremely well. We were wondering if Morocco would answer and how that second half would play out. Morocco did answer, an early goal, 2 more, and a 3-0 dominant win for the Moroccans.
Yeah, we talked about at halftime that restarts were going to be important and that these breaks, when you come out of the breaks, teams can elevate, capitalize, and that's exactly what happened. It's as if Morocco just kind of said, okay, first half, we're going to go through the paces, we'll weather the storm, we'll let Canada do their thing, and then bang, 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 second half. They came out, great ball from Hakimi on the restart, right, from wide right, just perfectly weighted pass, and Onahi just smashed it home. It had eyes, it went through several players' legs to get into the back of the net, but a very good restart, obviously well planned and practiced, and then Onahi gets another one, and then Rahimi the third. So very kind of professional win. Yeah, you know, and they just this is the first round of 16 game that we're going to see, and Morocco just showed its class in the second half. They certainly pulled away, and honestly, they just came out in the second half and shifted into fourth or fifth gear and completely dictated the game.
And that's what I'm wondering about, because in the second half, the first half, you saw Morocco definitely outplayed. Their expected goals their XG was 0.02. They were doing nothing on the offensive end. The entire game opens up once they get that 50-minute goal by Onahi with those 2 goals. Also, Brahim Diaz, 2 assists. He was excellent in the second half. And I'm wondering, Pete, as a head coach who's won 3 national championships, and as somebody who's been in those locker rooms where you need to completely change a mood, I'm wondering what that locker room, what that coach from Morocco must have been like there after that first half, because certainly the message was sent, something was changed, and you really got to credit all of that Moroccan side for getting the message through to change the way they played there in the second half.
Yeah, when I think about the locker room, I'll bet the Morocco's locker room was business-like. Hey, listen, we've got to do this, we've got to do this. We're not playing at the level we need to play at. We've got to pick it up. We've got to be more efficient. Restarts, we've got to be strong on. We can break this team down. They did have 67% of possession in the first half to Canada's 33. So they bring that up and say, look, we've had possession. We've had the ball. So there would be no panic in that locker room. And then it would be, we need to finish our chances and we need to get this thing going. And you guys, let's put this away. Let's pick up our pace. Let's pick up our quality and let's go. Whereas I bet the Canadian locker room, I bet Jesse Marsch was very animated and fired up, and you could feel the maturity of the Moroccan team and its history versus the excitement, exuberance, and maybe lack of experience coming into this one in the second half for Canada. So they separated as... Now, I feel like I've been wrong on a number of these games. No. But on this one, I think so. And but on this one, if you were to dictate how it would go halftime, Morocco pulls away. Canada can't match it. That's exactly what happened.
Well, this is Canada's best run in a World Cup of all time. And you know, it's interesting as you're
Sometimes
speaking.
You get satisfied.
You know, certainly, you know that this was, not only did this World Cup produce the first win in Canadian soccer history at a World Cup, it produced the first knockout round berth for Canadians in a World Cup. It produced their first knockout round win for Canadians in a World Cup. Yeah. So many firsts and so many great marks. A 3-0 loss to a great Moroccan side that finished 4th place in the last World Cup. It's certainly nothing to feel bad about at all. It's interesting, as you're speaking, I'm watching, you know, our monitor here from Houston Stadium. Jesse Marsch is such an interesting character. He comes out, you know, and unprompted says yesterday he would never become, and this is an American, mind you, says, I would never coach the United States national team. They're just watching him after this game in Houston. He's pushing away cameras as his team is in their huddle. Like, he's like, no cameras allowed as we have our final post-game huddle of the World Cup. Marsh is such an interesting person, and
define what you mean by interesting.
I'll hold that back. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because for Jesse Marsh, such an intense coach, such a unique coach. And I'm wondering how he coached. I mean, we saw in the second half, after Morocco got their first goal, there's a point where his head is down in his hands.
Yeah.
And
players see that.
Yeah, you wonder how he handled that second half where it just felt like it was a snowball that kept rolling downhill, whereby even the first hydration break by the second goal, his emotions feel like the team kind of feels that and feeds off of that, where the only word that comes to my mind is defeated.
Yeah, when you look at your coach, he's got his head down and he's got his hands in his head. That's not a good sign, and it does permeate the team. And players will go off the energy of their team or the maturity of their team or of their coach or the wisdom of their coach. For the U.S., Pochettino has been really good, especially in the breaks, where he's been able to get the team. Once we had a situation, Balogun gets kicked out of the game, red carded. We go to a water break a moment later, and he says right away, this is what we're going to do, and it's going to be 4-5-1 on occasion, where you can see by his hand gestures that he's putting the team in the right spot. If you have a coach that's animated, that works to a certain point, but when you're facing a Morocco who can pick you apart, has the skill and the ability, emotion needs to sort of be taken out of it and focus on a plan that the players can understand and appreciate. If you get too emotional, and then once a goal goes in and the coach's head drops, players have...
Your head drops too?
Yeah, it's very normal to see that happen. So as a college coach, I have stood on the sidelines and cheered, come on, we can do it, that kind of stuff. At the World Cup level, at the professional level, that doesn't resonate the same. Just as in the NFL, when Lou Holtz, the great college Notre Dame coach, goes to the pros and he's trying to be a college guy, it didn't work.
Yeah, and then sometimes
a good example for you.
Pete Carroll goes from USC to the Seattle Seahawks, and the college style does work. And sometimes you really do feed off your coach, and the Canadians may have fed off the energy of Jesse Marsh, and it was a negative energy. It was a defeated energy, and Canada ends up losing by a score of 3-0 with 3 second-half goals by Morocco. You mentioned the United States there. As we close the book on this game, and Morocco advances to the quarterfinal to face the winner of France and Paraguay coming up later today. The United States, we look ahead to their round of 16 match and their potential trip to the quarterfinal facing Belgium on Monday. We'll quickly discuss that as we wrap up the post-game show. Once again, Morocco, a 3-0 win over Canada in the round of 16. Houston will continue with more. You're listening to FIFA World Cup 2026 on iHeartRadio.
The free iHeartRadio app is #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Discover a new podcast from our library of over 350,000 titles. Here's an iHeartRadio podcast preview.
500 years ago, Thomas More wrote a novel about an idyllic society on an island. An island where private property had been abolished, families made their own clothes, and there were no lawyers. He called the island Utopia, which could be traced to the Greek roots utopia, meaning a good place, or utopia, no place. It's a brilliant etymology, encapsulating somewhere that is perfect and does not exist. But that hasn't stopped people from trying to create their own utopias. I mean, it's enticing, isn't it? What if you could rewrite laws and change the government? What if you could choose who gets to live in your world and who's in charge? Throughout history, many people have tried to turn their utopian dreams into reality. Their motivations vary, but these projects share one thing in common. In one way or another, they all fail. I'm Avery Trufelman, and I'm hosting a new podcast called Nice Try. Our first season, Utopian, chronicles the perpetual search for a perfect place. Nice try from Curbed and the Vox Media Podcast Network.
Listen and follow this podcast for free on the iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts all in one.
You are listening to FIFA World Cup 2026 on iHeartRadio. Jackson Feltz here alongside the three-time national champion head coach Pete Fewing as we're wrapping up action from Houston Stadium. Morocco have advanced to the quarterfinals of the World Cup with a 3-0 win over Canada. And now, Pete, attention will turn later today to France and Paraguay, kicking off here in just a couple hours. That from 100-degree Philadelphia Stadium. That will be wild. But for a few moments, wanted to end the broadcast by talking about the United States men's national team. Seattle, Washington will play host to the United States against Belgium for a trip to the quarterfinals, and for the United States, a chance to equal the height of the program in the modern World Cup era. Pete, from the environment in Seattle, we saw what it was like against Australia a few weeks ago, to the element of this team being without Flo Balogun, to the quality and the competitiveness we anticipate seeing on Monday night. That will be quite a battle and quite a spectacle in Seattle, Washington, coming up on Monday.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, does he go with Pepe up front? Does he go with Haji Wright up front? They're different than Balogun because Balogun's a big body. He's a big post-up player. He can turn people, whereas for me, Haji, Pepe, and hey, Haji's done 21. He has 21 caps, 7 goals, and 43 caps for Pepe, and 13 goals, I think are the numbers. Yep. I think I have that right. And so they can score, right? But they're different kinds of finishers. And the big body that Balogun gives us is going to be missed. The second question is, the Senegal-Belgium game. I was at that game. Senegal was the better team, similar here in the first half. And then once they made the subs and they pulled off some of the older guys.
Second hydration break, you talked about it.
Yes. All of a sudden, Belgium in the last 5 minutes, and Lukaku comes in. Yikes, he changes everything. So Lukaku's been coming off the bench. It'll be interesting to see, do we change our formation? Do we go to 2 forwards up front? Which, frankly, I doubt that, because I think we need the numbers back defensively. So I don't see that happening. But so who's going to start up front? How does that change our lineup? And then do they go younger, or do they say, hey, we weather the storm like Morocco just did?
And then put on Lukaku, do the same thing.
Exactly. So, Kevin De Bruyne is such a string puller, and he can play so many good balls, and he's always so goal dangerous, whether it's with passing or his own shooting. And I've seen them play live twice now, Belgium here in Seattle, and boy, he just has a command on the field, but his legs don't last as long as they used to. So when they bring in the young guys, Belgium becomes a different team. It's going to be a tough battle for the U.S. They can do it, but it's going to be a tough battle.
Tough battle indeed.
Pulisic needs to be great.
He does need to be great. It will be a fun atmosphere there at Seattle Stadium. Cannot wait for that. 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time, Monday night, Seattle Stadium, USA, Belgium. That'll do it for our broadcast today. Once again, Canada falling out of the tournament. Morocco advanced to the quarterfinals with a 3-0 win. France, Paraguay will play here in just a couple hours. Thanks so much to Travis Moger, to Pete Fewing. My name is Jackson Feltz. You have been listening to FIFA World Cup 2026 on iHeartRadio.
Welcome to Huntington Bank. We're new here, but we've been around since 1866.
Wow, that's a long time.
Long enough to know that insightful bankers, great products, and customer service make a big difference. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Morning decisions. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
This is Lele Pons from Suite 305 with Lele Pons. Game day at my house, it's chaos, but like in a fun way. The TV's ready, the remotes are ready, the kids' stores are going off, and somehow everybody needs batteries at the exact same time. That's why I keep Duracell stocked. And Duracell just released limited edition Duracell and Messi battery packs. The design is inspired by Messi's iconic left leg tattoo, so every battery feels like it comes with an extra kick. From the TV remote to automatic corkscrew, Duracell keeps us game day ready. Duracell double and AAA batteries are the only ones built different with power boost ingredients for long-lasting performance you can trust. Find the limited edition Duracell and Messi batteries in stores at Lowe's and Walmart or on Amazon.
You've got to try the new TikTok diet.
Just ask Chat.
I just take blue-green algae.
Or you could trust your gut. When it comes to your health, how do you know what's right for you? That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple, at-home gut health test that analyzes your real-time biology to give you personalized nutrition guidance and custom supplements. Not trends, your biology. Many people who use Viome report better digestion, more energy, and improved mood within months. Stop guessing. Start knowing. Learn more at Viome.com. V as in Victor, IOME.com.
This has been a presentation of the FIFA World Cup 2026 on iHeartRadio. All rights to this broadcast are reserved. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of this game without the express written consent of iHeartRadio, Fox, and FIFA is strictly prohibited. Thank you for listening to FIFA World Cup 2026 on the iHeartRadio network. And you can hear all Fox's broadcasts of FIFA World Cup 2026 matches live on the World Cup channel on the iHeartRadio app.
In the purple and gold. You failed F-Boy. Ben writes in, F-Boy Joni and your group of bleeps should get back to being stalking bleep suckers like you are about your royal couple, Trav and Tay, and gossiping like sackless bitches you are about what dress did she wear, which celebs were there, and where is the honeymoon gonna be. Rob writes in, you white trash bleep. Nobody gives an F about your country road song or bleep U.S. soccer team. You failed board op bleep. At the Jonas Knox on X. At Jonas Knox Show on Instagram. Another guy writes in, Monica Lewinsky Jr. The only thing smaller than the listenership on your show is your bleep. You're a tool, but not the sharpest one in the shed. So let's make this clear. The Lakers aren't the most unimpressive, undersized, and white thing in LA. Your bleep is you bitch. Ken writes in, it's a travesty to America. Our forefathers didn't spill their blood across the Delaware and the frozen tundra of Valley Forge, only to have this great nation's 250th ruined by 4 hours of this busboy beta bitch. I hope a firework blows off your tiny, limp soy boy bleep.
Excuse me, Jonas. May I just provide a brief addendum here?
Yeah.
Because radio is theater of the mind. Can you confirm to the nation how exactly this gentleman, Ken, spelled forefathers?
Let me get down to that. I got to go through all the hate. Let's see. Forefathers. F-O-U-R.
Yes, the actual correct spelling is F-O-R-E, forefathers. Our nation did not have 1, 2, 3 forefathers.
These people are idiots, Isaac. I mean, you know, I was more concerned with him saying he wants a firework to blow my crank off. Like, I was more worried about that.
Well, then just don't go outside later tonight.
I won't. I won't. And by the way, the in-laws are Mexican. Every day is 4th of July with fireworks. Okay, I'm just telling you. Like, just letting you know. All right. So again, if you would like to provide any positive feedback on the show, you can do so at the Jonas Knox on X. That is at the Jonas Knox on X. By the way, with the iHeartRadio app, you can stream us wherever you happen to be. Catch us in all of our Fox Sports Radio shows live 24/7 in the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Search Fox Sports Radio in the app to stream us live all day, every day, and be sure to select Fox Sports Radio as one of your presets in the iHeart app, so it will always pop up at the top of your screen. By the way, Chris, did I read through those as cleanly as possible? I didn't get dumped, right?
You did. I'm particularly sensitive about it this week, but yeah, we got through it clean. Just remarkable.
Hey. How about all those bleeps for you? I think you can slide one past us.
Phrasing.
Yeah. All right. So apparently Caitlin Clark is not she's not familiar with how this whole thing works when it comes to sports media and coverage of the WNBA. She had this to say when it came to speaking about the flagrant foul heard around the world in the WNBA. So let's take a listen then to number 22.
Even I turned the TV on Sunday, and that game was on Wednesday, and that's all people are still talking about. And I feel like that's just a real disservice to our league. And I get it. You talk about it. You talk about whether it's flagrant. You talk about whatever it is. But to continue to beat down, and then for the narrative to be taken other places that is really just that's just really not acceptable, I think it's hard to see, and it's a disservice to my team, but it's also a disservice to the other teams in this league and other players in this league.
Hey, Caitlin, I got news for you. You're going to get disserviced again this time next year. You want to know how I know that? Because this is the same conversation we've had about that league the previous year. This is what the league has turned into. And people can get upset by that all they want, and I don't care. You can get upset about it. You can say, oh, no, there's great players. Oh, cool. Great. That's fine. I'm not a fan, but okay. Whatever, if you want to, that's totally okay. No criticism, no judgment. All that is fair. But when the only thing you push out is the racial stuff or the treatment of her, and if she was it's because she's white, and it's because she's straight, and there are a large group of people who watch sports and don't give a crap about any of that stuff. They don't care. I don't want to be beaten down by your politics. I don't want to be beaten down by your agendas. I just want to watch the game. That's it. And the problem with the WNBA is they come off, and I said this earlier this week, they come off like a nickel and dime organization. They really do. It comes off like a nickel and dime league. Because, yeah, you do have talented players and great players, and you do have potential stars on your hand. But the discussion